Regola Consulting, Inc. I wanted to give you some background on CMMC and NIST 800-171 because I think a lot of misconceptions on CMMC and NIST 800-171 stem from a lack of understanding of how the federal government accredits, or ATOs, their information systems. While the CMMC assessments aren't directly authority to operate decisions, or ATOs, my opinion is that the context of how the U.S. government thinks about assessing information systems, whether their own or a contractor's, is highly relevant to interpreting the rules. I wanted to start this new video series with this background before jumping in to some of the technical misconceptions in later videos. As an example, when you think about setting the scope of an information system, my opinion is that the audit standards for acceptable scope are going to be derived from the government's experience with other risk management-based frameworks, such as NIST 853. NIST didn't pull NIST 800-171 out of the hat. They built NIST 800-171 from a lot of the NIST 853 controls, and CMMC added some practices. The bottom line here is that NIST, the DoD, and the Software Engineering Institute at Carnegie Mellon University have been thinking about information security, information system scope, and controls for a long time. Ignoring this history and context would be a mistake, because let us look at what is similar between NIST 800-171, CMMC, and the frameworks like NIST 853 that are used by the government. There are system security plans, there are controls. In fact, NIST 800-171 controls select from the NIST 853 controls, adding and removing elements. There is control inheritance, and there are architecture diagrams. Therefore, when a government contractor writes a system security plan, they should be writing it by taking into account control inheritance from cloud providers at the control level. If a contractor writes an SSP in the manner that the government would document their own information systems, they should be well positioned for an assessment. My approach, in the absence of official guidance to the contrary, is to consider the history and context of CMMC, NIST 800-171, and RMF-based approaches in the government, and document and architect the information systems to that standard. What I mean by that specifically is that the work product and attention to detail and integration between people, process, and technology should be at the level of a government information system. But contractors aren't being asked by the standards to always build a system at the NIST 853 high level. If you liked this video, please leave us a comment below. Be sure to catch the rest of the videos in this series by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.